I'm in red form, in a red state, such a red case on a red song. In a shared space with my shareholders, cause we share a bond. Spiritual health care, that's real self-care, you won't care for.
I got my Mets hat on to the back. Y'all already know where we going with the stats.
Any artist that's talking garbage and try to curse us, y'all follow a wave and do whatever's current. I follow his ways, I know my turn is coming.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access. Add it to the cart and we got you. And that's it, man. Go purchase Big Pat Sports Talk merch and support the family, man. And welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. Thank you for your support. What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with your boy Big Pat Sports Talk. And today's episode is going to be a reaction to Mr. Jalen Hurts. It was a reaction by Mr. James Jones on Twitter. We gonna get into it, so let's get into it, man. I ain't gonna waste no time with this reaction.
This is disrespectful.
I'll tell you disrespectful.
No.
Basically, what he's saying is that they're saying that Justin Fields is a poor man's version of Jalen Hurts. And James Jones, formerly a Giants receiver, but mainly known for his time with the Packers, goes off on Shady McCoy, who's usually running his mouth, but couldn't seem to find the words to say to James Jones in this segment. But let's get into it.
This is disrespectful to Justin Fields, right? Okay. No.
And to be honest with you, it kind of is. When you look at player to player, it kind of really is.
Number one, we talk about arm talent. His arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts.
And there's no question it is way better.
Right? His arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts.
Wait.
He's faster, more explosive. His running ability is better than Jalen Hurts.
That is true.
He does not have A.J. Brown. He does not have Devontae Smith. He does not have Dallas Goedert. He does not have that offensive line in front of him. He did not have Miles Sanders last year.
You didn't.
Right? If I was to tell you these are the number of an MVP quarterback, 22 touchdowns, right? 3,700 yards. He in the MVP conversation. Y'all would be like, what?
Who?
So, Mr. James Jones is saying some of the same sentiments I've been saying about Jalen Hurts this whole time, especially when he compared to my quarterback, Daniel Jones. I told you that dude has 2 number 1 receivers, a number 1 tight end, a very good slot receiver, the number 1 ranked offensive line, the number 1 ranked running game, and he only threw for 22 touchdowns and 37 yards. Think about that. This man has a handful of things to his disposal. Number 1 offensive line, number 1 running game, number 1 tight end, and 2 number 1 receivers. And he only threw for 22 touchdowns and 3,700 yards. Come on, man. I've been saying the same stuff, James Jones. The same stuff. And it's like nobody realizes what I'm talking about. But I'm glad the national media, at least part of the national media, is starting to see it. Like, how is he in the MVP conversation with 22 passing touchdowns and 3,700 yards passing? Now, everybody go, oh, what about the rushing yards? But when I mention the rushing yards with Daniel Jones, it's irrelevant. When you look at Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts, pound for pound, Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. He does what Jalen Hurts does best, better. And he has a better arm. Let's see what the kid does when they finally get some real talent around him. I actually like Justin Fields. Man.
You understand what I'm saying? Justin Fields threw 17 touchdowns. Who was he throwing to, Shady?
I don't know. Wait,
No. I'm just saying.
Nobody knows who he was really throwing to because Claypool didn't do anything. I mean, he does have Mooney. He had Mooney. They do got a pretty good tight end over there from Notre Dame, Cole Kmet. The running game was pretty good. It was mainly because of him. Yeah, he went through some of the same similar things as Daniel Jones. To be honest with you, because who was Daniel Jones out there throwing it to? His receivers weren't even as good as Justin Fields' receivers. And then our tight end Bellinger, who was pretty good, he got hurt. But Jones did have Saquon Barkley. Justin Fields had both his running backs, Khalil Herbert and Montgomery, when Montgomery wasn't hurt. But if you put Justin Fields over there with Philly, I don't know, man.
Well, you said but you're misleading America.
Hurts through 22.
How's he misleading America?
How is he misleading America?
He didn't say anything about the rushing yards. Does that not count? You just said how your guy feels.
So let me say rushing then. Last year rushing, Justin Fields had 1,100.
Oh, okay.
400 more yards than Jalen Hurts. And nowhere near the offensive line Jalen Hurts has backing him up. Nowhere near. Man, look at Shady's face. Like, you dudes just be talking, man. How you gonna say it? Can you bring up the rushing yards? Well, Justin Fields had 1,100 yards rushing, and he didn't even play the last game of the season. Just crazy.
That's a lot.
Okay. Hurts had 700.
Okay.
So let's talk rushing yards.
And add the touchdowns. Add the rushing touchdowns too now.
It was 13-8.
Come on.
You got Justin Fields throwing you can't even name them, Shady. And you got two number ones and a number one tight end and a number one running back and a number one offensive line and a number one secondary and a number one defensive line. The team is winning. But when you talk about individual players and you say poor man's, right? Justin Fields at the quarterback position is more of a talent than Jalen Hurts.
And it's not even a question.
For college.
It's not even a question. Look at all the stuff at his disposal. Number one offensive line, number one running game, two number one receivers, a number one tight end, the number one pass rush, the number one secondary. Like, come on. Come on. Who can't succeed in something like that, bro? Who cannot succeed in something like that, man? And with all those number ones, when it comes to passing, he only threw 22 touchdowns and 3,700 yards. With all that around him. He played on a roster many quarterbacks dream of playing with. So, heck yeah, he's a little overrated in my book. Is he a good quarterback? Yeah. Very good leader. But he's not this dude that everybody's portraying, the number one quarterback in the league behind Mahomes. Heck no. You put that man in other people's situations, it's going to be trouble. Trouble. I don't care what nobody says. That man had a flip mode squad behind him. And has it again this year. So, of course, he's going to put up stats. But even then, he didn't even put up stats like crazy stats. Come on, man. I don't get it, man. Y'all let me know. Am I a little off kilter here, man? Y'all let me know, bro. But I agree with James Jones, man. That man's a little overrated, man. I don't care what none of y'all say. For him to be an MVP conversation was absolute garbage last year, man. That team deserved the MVP for sure. I mean, man, he played on a roster most quarterbacks dream of playing with, bro. Dream of playing with. And no, he is not a more talented quarterback than Justin Fields. He's not a more talented quarterback than Daniel Jones. He's not a more talented quarterback. Hell, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Herbert or any of those guys. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson when he gets back healthy. He's not a more talented quarterback than any of those guys. He's just surrounded by a team that is very good, and they built that team to its strengths. And that's not a bad thing, but that's just the truth. And I'm going to talk my talk no matter what you thought. That dude's overrated. If you have him in the top 5, he's overrated. But thank you guys for tuning in. This is Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. Hopefully you enjoyed this. James Jones says Jalen Hurts MVP considerations are overrated, and I totally agree. And he's not a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Pound for pound, he's not. You put Justin Fields on that Eagles team, I promise you, you have some of the same results. Maybe even worse in certain aspects. But until the next reaction, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that big blue join button. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until the next Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts, peace, man. This is a Big Blue Crew production.